Niu Chengzhang was a cloth merchant from Jiangxi, and his wife was Zheng. They had a son and a daughter. He fell ill and died at the age of 33. His son was called Niu Zhang, then only 12 years old, and his daughter was only 8 or 9. Zheng did not want to remain a widow, so she took the property and remarried. Abandoning the 2 children, they struggled to survive. Niu Chengzhang had an elder sister-in-law by his elder brother. She was already 60 years old, poor, widowed, and without anyone to rely on. So she lived together with the 2 children. After a few years, the sister-in-law died, and the household became even more impoverished. By then, Niu Zhang gradually grew up and wanted to carry on his father's trade but lacked capital. His sister married into the Mao family, which was a wealthy merchant household. The sister begged her husband to lend her brother several dozen taels of silver. Niu Zhang went to Nanjing with others. On the way, he encountered bandits, and all the money was taken. He drifted in a foreign land, unable to return home. One day, Niu Zhang happened upon a pawn shop. He saw that the shopkeeper looked very much like his own father. After leaving, he secretly made inquiries. The name was also the same as his father's. He was extremely astonished. He had no idea what the reason was. Every day, he loitered around the pawn shop, secretly observing whether the shopkeeper showed any reaction to him, but the shopkeeper paid him no attention. After 3 days like this, seeing the shopkeeper's speech and mannerisms, it truly was his own father. Niu Zhang dared not go forward to identify himself, so he introduced himself to the pawnshop's servant. He begged the shopkeeper, appealing to the bond of being a fellow townsman, to let him work as a servant in the pawnshop. After the contract was signed, the shopkeeper looked at his place of origin and name. Seemed somewhat moved, he asked where he came from. Niu Zhang cried and told his father's name. The shopkeeper listened, feeling lost, and after a while asked, "Is your mother well?" Niu Zhang dared not say his father was dead. So he replied, "My father went out to do business 6 years ago and never returned. My mother remarried and left. Fortunately, I was raised by my aunt. Otherwise, I would have long been buried in a ditch." The shopkeeper said sorrowfully, "I am your father," and as he spoke, he held his hand with great sadness. He then led him in to meet his stepmother. The stepmother, Ji, was in her 30s, had no children, and was very happy to see Niu Zhang. She set out wine and a feast in the inner chamber to entertain him. Niu Chengzhang had been feeling gloomy all along and very much wanted to return to his hometown. Ji was worried that the shop would be unattended and stopped him from going. So Niu Chengzhang took his son to manage the pawnshop together. After 3 months, he handed the pawnshop over to his son to run. He packed his bags and returned to his hometown. After they parted, Niu Zhang told his stepmother the truth that his father was dead. Ji was shocked and said, "Your father came here to do business. An old friend of his kept him here to run the pawnshop. He married me 6 years ago. How can you say he is already dead?" Niu Zhang then recounted the details again. Both were full of doubt, unable to understand the reason. After a day and a night, Niu Chengzhang returned. He brought along a woman with hair like tangled weeds. Niu Zhang looked and saw it was his own mother. Niu Chengzhang grabbed the woman by the ear, stomped his foot, and cursed loudly. "Why did you abandon my son?" The woman was so frightened she lay prostrate on the ground, not daring to move. Niu Chengzhang bit her neck with his mouth. The woman screamed for Niu Zhang, "Son, save me! Son, save me!" Niu Zhang couldn't bear it and stepped between his parents to block them. Niu Chengzhang was still furious, but then the woman suddenly vanished. Everyone was shocked and yelled that they had seen a ghost. Then they looked at Niu Chengzhang. His face turned extremely grim. His clothes fell to the ground, and he transformed into a mass of black vapor, soon disappearing as well. Niu Zhang and his stepmother were both astonished and sighed. They gathered Niu Chengzhang's clothes and hat and buried them. Later, Niu Zhang inherited his father's business and amassed a vast fortune. When he returned to his hometown to inquire, his mother, who had remarried, had died on that very day. The entire family had seen Niu Chengzhang.